Hello everyone. Welcome back. Thank you all for stopping by and hanging out with me today. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for your support. And if you are new stopping by here, hi there, my name is JoJo. On this channel, I share with you all our family's budgeting journey with the goal of attaining financial freedom. We started with a six-figure debt back in February of 2020, and we are new to budgeting. That's about when we started budgeting as well, was February of last year. And I just share with you guys what I have learned, the system that we're using, how it's kind of morphed to suit our needs. And if that's something you're interested in following along with, then please consider subscribing. Today's video, what I'm going to be doing is my week 2 check-in for paycheck number 1. We get paid bi-weekly, so I will also be closing out this paycheck. We are paycheck by paycheck, zero-based, cashless budgeters, and we also implement a velocity banking system to help us pay down our interest accruing debts. I'm going to start right here. I always start with my variable expenses, and this was week 1 last week. I'll put a card up here if you want to check out how we came to these numbers. And then today what we're going to be doing is we're still in paycheck 1. The dates of the transactions that we're going to be looking at are from March 18th until the 24th. And this transaction log, I fill it out twice a week, and it houses everything, all money flowing in, all money flowing out in one central location. And then it's just color coded over here. Green is for income, yellow is a variable expense, and the pink boxes are bills, the blue boxes are sinking fund transactions. And when I do have a bill clear, because I did have a question on that, if you watch my paycheck budget setup video, when I have a bill clear, like I'm filling out a pink box, I'm highlighting here, what I do is I also have my calendar open. Sorry, I'm zoomed in quite a bit. I always like you guys to see all the little details, but I have my calendar open and I just check off the bill as I'm filling out my transaction log, which is twice a week. And then it kind of gives me an idea of what's not come through yet, what I should be expecting to come through, that sort of stuff. We're just gonna start here with groceries. And I always like to give you guys an example because I am really bad about typing numbers in wrong in the calculator. What I do is just keep a running tally of the remaining amount from the what I budgeted for that category. So for our family, a family of 5, we budget $400 to last us for 2 weeks of groceries. And then when I come to do my weekly check-in, what I'll do is just take the $400 that I budget, and then this plus $25.33 to me means that I'm under budget. I still have $25.33 remaining to spend within that category. So what I'll do is just subtract it, and that tells me how much we spent in 2 weeks. You guys will see that on my paycheck budget sheet when I go to fill out my categories for 2 weeks worth. But since this is week 2, and I want to know how much I spent just this week, what I will do is subtract out what I had spent last week on groceries. And that tells me we spent $150.69 on groceries. So then I'll just come plug that in over here, $150.69, and then our remaining $25.33. Next, for eating out entertainment, as I had mentioned, my kids are on spring break. I bumped up this category. I normally budget $100 to last us 2 weeks, but my kids were on spring break for 2 weeks. We've been out doing tons and tons of fun stuff. I bumped this bad boy up to $500, and we blew through it, you guys. We have been having a ton of fun. So this week, I had spent $336.22. We were over budget by $104.06, you guys. So last week we had gone to an animal sanctuary. You can see that right here. I paid for tickets for my mom and my stepdad, and then we had gone out to eat quite a bit. We had also gotten or purchased some ski lift tickets. So it was my oldest, my daughter, and myself. So 3 ski lift tickets for $138. Then we also had gone to a trampoline park, and my oldest had brought a friend. So I paid for the friend to come, and then also lunch. So that came to $106.81. Some McDonald's. We'd also gone to at the ski lodge. We had purchased a rental helmet. My daughter had gotten ski lessons, or snowboard lessons, I should say. Let's see, there it is. It was for $144, and that included rental equipment. And we also rented a locker. And then on the way home, we were so wore out, you guys, but it was beautiful up there. It was a beautiful day. It was just so nice to be out in the fresh air, doing something adventurous together. And we stopped at Jack in the Box on the way home and had purchased some dinner. So that is all of the shenanigans for eating out and entertainment. A very pricey, but very fun, well worth it. We cash flowed everything. We didn't go into debt for anything. Spring break with my kids. Next is household and pets. We did not spend anything this week, you guys. This category has been kind of up and down for us as far as being on budget, under budget, over budget, all the things. And what we had spent, or what we have remaining, is $69.75. Gas. Oh my gosh, you guys, this one is a killer. We spent $95.13 on gas this week. I had a game night, a birthday party we went to. We went up a mountain to go to the ski lodge. That was about an hour away. So 2 hours back and forth. The birthday party and the game night were about 45 minutes away. And most of it's interstate driving, but I drive a Subaru Outback, so it gets pretty good gas mileage. And then my husband drives a 4Runner, which is a bit more of a gas guzzler, but gas prices, it's $3.20 a gallon here, and it hurts. It is so expensive. We are over budget by $85.03, and I budget $150. So we spent $235 on gas for 2 weeks, you guys. Next is my husband. He spent $48.28. He is under budget by 10 cents. I am going to zero this out. So what I usually do, we get $80 of spending money, my husband and I. And whenever we don't spend all of our $80 at the end of the paycheck, whatever's left over goes into a sinking fund. His is called Dad Bod. Mine is called My Face. And those just build up. For him, it'd probably be more so like golfing, if he needed some clothes. And then for me, it's for clothes, beauty purchases, brunch with a girlfriend, that sort of stuff. So he's going to be putting 10 cents into his Dad Bod category. I had not spent anything this week. I've been out running around with the kids. And what I'm actually going to do with my leftover money, because I have $65.22 remaining, but my husband is definitely more of the spender, you guys. I'm more of the saver. So my category, my sinking fund category, My Face, it is built up quite a bit, and I don't really need anything. I have some wants, but they can wait. I'm getting along just fine with what I have. So since we were so far over budget on a couple of categories, I'm just going to leave my leftover money in the, to contribute to bring down some of these negative balances. So that we're not so over budget in variable expenses. So that'll be $65.22 that's going to stay here within the budget. I'm not zeroing it out. My oldest, he had spent $4 This was, again, treats at the gas station. Last week I told you guys that's something my husband loves to do with the kids. On his days off, they go to the gas station, get little treats. He stops at the gas station, and that's fine. You know, it's really sweet. They really enjoy it. My daughter had spent $10.20. She was over by $1.18. And this is, my kids get money designated to them. My oldest is 15, my daughter is 7, my youngest is 4. So my two youngers, most of their money, we are cashless budgeters. My husband uses the debit card because if he, like I said, he's a spender, so he does not do well when he has a credit card. I have a Velocity credit card. Or not a Velocity, sorry. I have a travel credit card that I use, and almost all of our bills, and then I do the grocery shopping, and then any of the money I spend when we're going out with the kids or things, that goes on that travel card. But what I do when my husband takes the kids, let's say to the gas station, I know roughly how much, because we have 2 gas stations where we live, I know roughly how much each person buys. So like my oldest, he likes Takis and like a Gatorade. So it's like $4. My kids, they usually get a little candy bar or something. It's usually around $2. And then my husband, he'll get a drink or chips or something like that. And it's usually like $8. So I just kind of, when I see that purchase come through our checking account as a debit purchase, I can show you guys one right here. So like this gas station, the total on that was $16.28 as one charge through my checking account, but I knew how much each person had spent on their little treats at the gas station, so I just divided it up into each person's category. Then for my oldest, if we give him cash or Venmo a friend to go to a trampoline park or something, I just note it as cash, and then I write his name in the category that we gave him cash or that I Venmo'd somebody. So they don't each have their own cards. I don't give each of them the full amount of money at the beginning of the week. I just keep track of how much each person has spent on their own little treats or things or outings within their category. Okay, so I've had a question on that. I just wanted to clarify that for you guys. Next is my youngest. He had spent $15.71, and for my daughter and my youngest, we'd gone to Walmart. They picked out a couple of little toys, so I had that Walmart receipt. There was other things on the Walmart receipt, but then it's really easy on the Walmart receipts to find out how much each thing is. So I just pulled out what they'd spent on their little toys from Walmart, and that goes towards their spending. And they each get $20 for 2 weeks. And that's dependent on, you know, how they're doing with their chores, how they're doing in school. If they do extra things, then they can get extra money, all that sort of stuff. Unbudgeted, we did not have any. Total what we had spent was $660.23. Since I had contributed my $65.22, this made us over budget by $17.68, which is a lot more reasonable than it would have been closer to like $90 had I not contributed that amount. So that is going to take care of the variable expenses, all of my yellow boxes. Now I'll get you guys switched over to my paycheck budget sheet, and we'll finish plugging in everything else. All right, here we are at the paycheck budget sheet, and all of the sheets you guys see me use, the transaction log, my weekly check-in, these are all available on my Etsy shop. It's linked in the description box below if you are liking the look of this system and feel like it would be helpful for you. On this sheet I have at the top here, I start with our income. And on the transaction log, that is the green boxes. Most of our standard income paychecks and things already came through as expected. We got our stimulus check last week. I talk about, how we decided to split it up here. And then the other extra income we had, I'd accidentally swapped my 0 and my 5. This was supposed to be 58.5004, so I just put it right here as 45 for the stimulus as extra. We had a fraudulent purchase on our credit card through PlayStation, so that was a refund. It was $79.98. I had told you guys last week I was going to put that money back into our gaming sinking fund, but we're actually doing pretty well, and I've been dipping into the electronic sinking fund too for like gaming subscriptions. My oldest has an Xbox and my husband has a PlayStation, and those have their yearly or quarterly subscriptions. And our electronic sinking fund is actually building up quite nicely, so I don't think I need to put this money back in there. So I'm going to roll that into more of our extra money, and that's brings it up to $124.98. Then I do Ibotta. I do on grocery pickup through Walmart, and you go through the Ibotta app for your grocery pickup, and it automatically pulls in your qualifying purchases. And I had built up to $25.62, so I deposited that. So our total extra income for this week is $150.60. Now, since we are closing out this paycheck, we can go ahead and add together all of our income. And we have $28.40.98 plus $10.80, 32 plus 927 plus 5805.04 plus 150.60. All right, you guys. So this is a huge amount of income. Obviously, a huge chunk of it was from the stimulus check, which is greatly appreciated. $10,803.94. So cool. Next, we're going to move over to our fixed expenses, our bills. These are our pink boxes, and all of my bills are right here. We have, first is Alexa. She had come out at her expected $14.99. Gonna go ahead and check off all these guys. Need to check off my income. Okay. Then we had daycare, came out as expected at $174. Insurance was under budget at $142.36. Then for this extra income, anytime we have extra income, I automatically designate it to debt. The stimulus check was an exception. The stimulus was an exception because it was such a large amount, and we are focusing on increasing our assets as well as bringing down our debt. So looking at that net worth number. So I had split the stimulus check through savings, 529, and IRA investments, and then put some towards our debt. But with this $150.60, I am going to put all of that towards debt. Today is the 24th. I'm just going to do little ditto marks here, and that's going to be all going towards debt, that $150.60. When you add all of these together, that totals, and I am going to have to write it in red because it technically is over that amount, but as you can see, nothing was actually over budget, and I don't consider any of these things to be a negative amount. But it totals $7,685.92. Next, we're going to move over to our variable expenses, and that's where we're just adding together those two amounts. For groceries, we ended up being under budget, probably because we ate out so much, but I will take it. It's $374.67. Eating out and entertainment, we were over. That was $604.06. Household, hallelujah, was finally under budget at $55.25. Gas, you guys, this seriously blew my mind. And I told my husband, and you should have seen his eyes pop out of his head. I'm like, yeah, babe, this gas is out of control. It's unreal. So my husband, since we're rolling his 10 cents over, this is going to be a solid 80. For me, I am leaving my money in here. So I had spent the $14.78 last week at Starbucks. My oldest, he had spent 10. My daughter, she was over at 21.18. My youngest, he was under at 17.71. We did not have any unbudgeted. And then total, we were over budget. We spent $1,412.68. Next is our sinking funds. And those are the blue boxes. I have a lot of sinking funds, and I do get questions when I close out my paychecks or when I do my weekly check-ins about our sinking funds. And since we are cashless budgeters and we follow a velocity banking system, our sinking funds is actually housed within our HELOC. I talked a lot about it last week, but I don't do any transfers in the moment to cover any expenses that come from sinking funds. Most of my transfers deal with covering bills or expenses that come through our checking account, which there's very few bills. And then my husband is the only one who makes purchases through our checking account. So this keeping track of my sinking funds is purely through my tracking and my tables. I'll show you, this is my sinking funds table right here. I'm going to be closing out sinking funds tomorrow, but these are all of my categories. And I love sinking funds, you guys. They are amazing. You don't have to go as crazy as I did, obviously, but what we do is contribute $2,000 at the end of the month to sinking funds, and then that just gets divvied up throughout all of the categories. All of this totals $2,000. Okay. So, our first sinking fund, that was through gifts. That was the birthday we went to, and we had spent $21.42. Next was clothes for my kids. They needed socks and underwear and pajamas. See, so $75.77. That is just kind of a never ending for me, clothes. Next was home maintenance. We are hanging a kind of barn door style in our laundry room. My husband needed wood for that, and then he also needed wood to attach hooks in our garage to hang our kids' bikes and our bikes so that we could have more room in their garage. And that was for $42.21. And he also had purchased, I think was like fertilizer, because this $100 was the week before we'd gotten our yard thatched and aerated. And so he got some seed and fertilizer to put in after that. I almost forgot, you guys, for this dad bod to put in the 10 cents that my husband is contributing to that category. Now comes, let's see, I'm going to, I'll leave our rollover for last. I'm going to come down here to this extra debt. You guys, this is going to be super fun because we have a lot of money going towards debt this week. So this is all of the debt that we owe. Our student loan, which I posted a video yesterday. I finally got out my Velocity monthly check-in video to you guys, and I posted, it was a refinance, how much money we were going to have to pay in interest. It was almost $30,000 if I'd followed the refinance plan. It was $68,000 I'd refinanced in 2018, and it was going to be like $29,000 of interest over the 15-year term that student loan was for. It's an amortized interest loan. Whenever you have a set minimum monthly payment, a specific term for the money, and it only flows one way from the lender to you, and then the other way from you paying back the lender in monthly payments, that is an amortized interest loan. And those, you got to read through the fine lines. You guys look at your paperwork, see how much money they are planning on charging you interest for the entire term if you just make your minimum monthly payment. Even if you can afford your minimum monthly payment, look at how much total interest you're going to pay. And I was blown away. It's almost half of my loan. I was going to pay almost like 1.5 times the original amount of money that I owed, which was just crazy. I couldn't believe it. But we implemented the velocity banking strategy, paid off that loan. Now everything is through the HELOC. So this is technically my student loan. Now what we'll do, my payment had come out. I designated $610. That is my personal cent minimum monthly payment for our HELOC. And that did come out this paycheck. Sorry, you guys can't see it right here. So whenever a payment comes out for a debt, like our cell phones, they had come out. So I subtract it. So what I can do is take this 4287.57. We paid our $610, but I paid, this is my velocity tracker, I paid $53.94 in interest. So I'm going to add that back. Okay. So just with my minimum monthly payment, it brought it down to $39,731, which is awesome, you guys. We are in the 30,000s. All this other extra is going straight towards principal. So I'm just going to subtract that right from this number. So we're going to minus our 1905.04, our 150.60. You guys, this is so awesome. This is all just extra money. Okay, so 87. So exciting to see. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is figure out what our total debt is. This is everything, like every last drop of debt that we owe, besides our mortgage, yeah. $37,925.83. We are well into the 30,000s. Like, we're not at 39,999. We are well into the 30,000s, and that is so exciting. Let's see how much total we were able to pay just from extra. So 1905.04 plus the 150.60. That stimulus helped us out so much. $2,055.64, you guys. To wrap up this video, I'm going to figure out how much our rollover is. What we do is we roll everything from paycheck 1 into paycheck 2, and unless it's extra, it gets thrown at debt or investing. And then paycheck 2 is where we figure out our cash flow after all expenses are paid, and that money gets thrown at debt. What we'll do is we're going to take our 10,803.94 minus the 76,85.92 minus 1412.68. That is awesome. So this is more than we had expected, and really that rollover is just a reflection of our income, because of our extra has already been used up this paycheck. So we are still able to roll over more money, just of our own hard-earned money, to the next paycheck, even with our ridiculous amount of spending on our fun shenanigans. Okay, you guys, that is going to wrap up this video. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me today. If you enjoyed the video or the contents of the channel, please don't forget to subscribe or give the video a thumbs up. Let me know down below what you guys did with your stimulus, how your week was, how your March budget is going, and I'll see you guys tomorrow when we close out sinking funds.